Kindie Rock Stars. Prepare for a treat, let's meet and greet some bands and singers that are super sweet, making music that's fun for boys and girls. Help them learn about this great big world. Fun for the family, yes it's true, your kids will love it and you will too. Clap and dance and sing aloud, become a part of the Kindie crowd. These songs will make you move your feet and give your ears a great big treat. So settle in, grab your guitars, and let's get to know our Kindie Rock Stars. Welcome to another special edition of Kindie Rock Stars. This episode, we're going to be doing a music video feature with our guest, David Fisher, otherwise known as the Rock and Rope Warrior. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Great to be here.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and especially how you incorporated the rope into your act.
Well, the whole thing started, I was a AA volleyball player, and I started jumping rope to train for volleyball, and then just fell in love with the sport because there's so many different fun, creative things that you can do with it. And I've been a professional rope jumper for almost 30 years now. And about 10 years ago, songwriting is something I always wanted to do, but never really knew how to do it. And I would see friends of mine at the showcases like Justin Roberts and Zach Morgan, and really was impressed with what they were doing, and just wanted to see if I could sit down and try and write some songs, which was a lot harder than I originally thought. But I've been learning. It's the same thing with rope jumping. No matter how good you are and how many tricks you know, there's always new things to learn and ideas to share. So I feel my songwriting has improved from where I started, for sure, because I remember the first time that I went and gave all my music to the musicians that were going to help me with the CD, and they took a look at everything and they said, "Where are the bridges?" And I'm like, "What's a bridge?" So I was just writing funny poems, and then eventually we turned them into songs, and eventually I learned what a bridge was, and I'm getting better all the time, I like to think.
Yeah, I have a good first songwriting story as well. So I'm a children's book author, and by the time I had sat down to write my first song, I had released several books in one of my book series. So I wanted to write a song that encapsulated all the books, and I was working with another songwriter, or another professional musician named Annie Lynn. And so I wrote the song, handed it to her. The song had 12 verses. And so she came back and said, "Patrick, do you want this to be a normal length children's song, or do you want it to be Stairway to Heaven?" It's like, well, all right. She said, "Cut out 10 of these verses." And we kind of worked that out. And I think 3 verses ended up in it. But that was a good first. Okay, don't get too wordy, I guess is the point.
I have that same problem myself. My songs are always too long, and I need to edit them. So
how was it when you finally got your first group of songs, like put together? It's like real. It's a song. It's an album, so how did all that come together?
I have some friends in the music business, and they helped me put that first song together, found the musicians, that figured out how to transpose. I was singing basically on a tape, and then I would give them that, and then they would figure out the music, because I used to play the cello, but I'm not really a musician. So now I sit at a keyboard and poke around on the key. I hear a melody in my head and I'll poke around on the keys, but usually I'm on the white keys all the time, and my songs all wind up in the key of C, but I'm trying to vary that a little bit too. Now the second CD, I happen to have an unbelievable opportunity happen. I was asked to be a judge at a songwriting competition in Michigan. and people came in from all over the country. And I was kind of a fledgling songwriter, so I wasn't exactly sure about what my expertise was, and they wanted me to jump rope at the end of the show, and so that's why I was there. So I get there, and who am I sitting next to but Jim Peterick? Now, if you don't recognize his name, he's got 18 top 10 hits, Eye of the Tiger, for Survivor, Vehicle for Ides of March, Hold On Loosely for 38 Specials. The list goes on, and I'm like,
Great
what
songs.
am I doing here? I wound up recording my second CD at his house, and his son was my technician and everything, and it was an awesome experience. And the second CD musically came out much better. Colin Peterick is his son's name, and he's a super talented performer and musician as well.
Good that you leveraged that opportunity. Those are some good songs that you were listing off.
For sure.
Excellent. So we're going to be doing a music video feature here, but before we get into that, I just wanted to ask you about sort of the combination now of the rope jumping and the music. So how have you blended all of that together to become the Rock and Rope Warrior?
Well, depending on the show, sometimes I do sing a song or two at a show, but sometimes I get those looks like why is the jump rope guy singing? I don't get that. But I always have one of my songs in the show. I have a song called Jump, like J to the U to the M to the P. And it's one of these jump songs. And then right in the middle of it is a rap about Newton's laws of motion as they pertain to jumping. It's probably my least funny song, but it goes with the show. And that song, I was really honored because that song got chosen to be in a national compilation CD with other STEM-related songs. So I was in there with people like Bill Harley and Danny Weinkauf. And so just honored to be in that group. And so that's the Jump song. I play that when we do Double Dutch in the show.
Very cool. All right, well, let's kick it over to your music videos. So I'm going to give you the floor and go ahead and set up the first video that you want to talk about.
All right, thanks. Let me see. So this first one is called Maximess, and how this one came to be. Our youngest son, Max, was in the living room and he had spilled milk all over the floor, and I came over and he looked up at me and he said, "Mess." And I said, "No, Max, no mess, Max." And then he started stomping around in the milk, making a bigger mess. And finally I said, "No mas, Max." I don't really speak Spanish, but I put all those M's together. No mess, Max, no mas, Max. And that's how we got the Maximess song.
Max is the world's biggest slob. No mess, Max, no muss, Max. Madre would say, no mess, Max, no muss, Max. Please put that away. No mess, Max, no muss, Max. Let's wipe off your face. No mess, Max, no muss, Max. Just look at this place. Dad and I have this puzzle we've worked on for years. One by one, Max threw every piece down the stairs. Then the tooth fairy came, and Max had to spoil it with his new favorite game. Flush the bill down the toilet. He tosses his blankets each night from his crib. His eating's creative, thinking outside the bib. I'm willing to bet he could make most parents faint. Max works in spaghetti like Pollock and paint. No mess, Max, no muss, Max, me Madre would say. No mess, Max, no muss, Max, please put that away. No mess, Max, no muss, Max, let's wipe off your face. No mess, Max, no muss, Max, just look at this place. Pancakes are tricky, cause toppings are sticky. The same goes for blintzes and crepes. Face and hands never rinsed. He's the prince of making prints, and his napkins, that away. No mess max, no muss max, let's wipe off your face. No mess max, no muss max, just look at this place. Turn your back in a flash, he can transform a room, 'cause he'll ransack the trash like a hungry raccoon. Even pro diaper changers have all been outplayed. Drop your guard for a moment and you will be sprayed. Paper towels or tissues, he'll shred all he'll touch. Even with all his issues, we love him so much. His full name's Maximess, he's the runt in his litter. Mom and dad need a rest, maybe you know a sitter. No mess max, no muss max, me Padre would say. No mess max, no muss max, please put that away. No mess max, no muss max, let's wipe off your face. No mess max, no muss max, just look at this place. No mess max, no muss max, me Padre would say. No mess max, no muss max, please put that away. No mess max, no muss max, let's wipe off your face. No mess max, no muss max, just look at this place.
All right, so this next song, I don't remember exactly where the inspiration for it was, but I try and write what I think is funny to me, and then I've taken the ones that are singable to children, and that's what we did for the two CDs. And so this one's called Damn Jam, the Justin Bieber song. And so it's about all the animals in the woods coming to the Justin Bieber concert. And originally the chorus was na 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 Justin Bieber concert. But then I realized that it's Justin Bieber, so we changed it to na 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 na. So you'll see that in the chorus, and I will share this with you. I can. Oh, you also get to see hear my Bill Murray impersonation at the beginning.
Move over, chipmunks. There's a new varmint climbing the pop charts. Last year, he was gnawing the birch trees and back in a bunker on the 12th hole. And this year, he's gnawing his way into the hearts of every North American woodland creature. So if you want to jam, come on over to the dam, to the Justin Bieber concert. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber. Asiana brought his wife and daughter to the Justin Bieber concert. Popping porcupines stood a week in line for the Justin Bieber concert. Watch the birds in flight, 'cause tonight's a night for the Justin Bieber concert. Weird Owl, in fact, is the opening act for the Justin Bieber concert. Justin Bieber concert. Sing it Justin Bieber concert. All the stars are here. There goes Richard Gere to the Justin Bieber concert. All the interviews will be on Fox News for the Justin Bieber concert. All the hunters know that it's quite the show. It's a Justin Bieber concert. The Palins and the Moose have declared a truce for the Justin Bieber concert. Justin Bieber concert. Justin Bieber concert. They scream and shout when the star comes out. Nearly every critter puts it right on Twitter. The felines purr at his mop-top fur. The cougars howl when he throws his towel. All his fans are avid, some have tested rabid. Justin Bieber. Rabies, oh. Justin Bieber. Rabies, oh. No. Justin Bieber concert. Down the end of the trail, come and shake your tail at the Justin Bieber concert.
Love it.
Thanks. That was our first video. I think we got better at doing the videos as we went, but that was a fun one too.
I like the use of guitars in Kindie music, a little more rock and roll.
Well, that's the thing too. When I first gave the music to the musicians, they're like, where is this record going to go in the store? If it's in the store, you know, you've got like rock songs and ballads and country songs and just a whole mix of different types of music. And it is what it is. And, I kept fighting for my vision, and we wound up with some good CDs, I think.
Yeah, no, I love that one. That one's good. I actually, one of the new songs I'm working on, I replaced a violin part with a heavy metal guitar riff. Completely changed the song, and I love it now. I wasn't happy with it, but as soon as I did that, it's like it changed the whole texture of the song. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. So
now, do you find when you go to record things, like I felt going in, I had a list of like which I felt were my best, strongest songs, and then like midway through or even the beginning of the process, that all gets flipped around, then it gets flipped around again as it starts to get edited, and then at the end, it's another completely different order than I thought it was going to be, just with what gets added to the songs as you go. And I think the people helping me gave me some good advice in that, like, you're never really finished. You just have to get to a point where you have to let things go. And it is.
You can constantly improve a song. I think, but how much time do you take really in getting something? It's like, hey, this is good. Could be better, but I'm happy with it as is. Time to move on and let it go. I'm getting to that point. I'm far along on my current album. Like, I'm at the point where I'm judging each song now. It's like, I think this one's ready. I need to stop working on it.
Right. Well, for me, it's time and money. Because
Exactly.
the studio time and the musicians and everybody, that adds up as well.
All right. So you got one more video for us?
I do. So this third one is called Dinosaur Disco, and it's the title song from our second CD. And the video, I probably got a little green screen happy, but I had envisioned this Saturday Night Fever parody. And so musically, I think the song is good. It's not one of my favorite videos, but we'll let you guys take a look at it. So I'm going to share.
Long before the human race, the dinosaurs met face to face and built a very special place where they all could dance. In the plains, spiky and horny, dinosaurs on made the journey to shake their tails until the morning and maybe find romance at the dinosaur disco. Dance at your own risk. The dinosaur disco, by the pay more than Frisco. We open at 5. Tons of detail and muscle, all doing the hustle. We'll not stop and drive. Still alive. Lots of gold chains on long necks, platform shoes on a T-Rex, raptors in striped spandex, mountain lizards go north. I see the fox's name Sylvester was the disco's main investor. Bell-bottom pants of polyester is what he always wore to the dinosaur disco. Dance at your own risk. The dinosaur Dinosaur disco by the bay of the Frisco. We open at 5. Got to detail and muscle, all doing the hustle. The bus stop and drive. When the DJ spun a remix, a brash young archaeopteryx started showing off her dance steps. She learned down south. She went on with her antics, angered hungry T-Rex. Now that feathered Archaeopteryx is down in the mouth at the Dinosaur disco. Dance at your own risk. The Dinosaur disco by the bay of the Frisco. We open at 5. Tons of detail and muscle, all doing the hustle. The bus stop and drive. Was the disco open the story classic? You bet your Jurassic. And the music was fantastic. You bet your Come to the Dinosaur disco, dance at your own risk. The Dinosaur disco by the bay of the Frisco. We open at 5. Tons of detail and muscle, all doing the hustle. The bus stop and drive. The Dinosaur disco, dance at your own risk. 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 The Dinosaur disco, dance at your own risk.
So did you produce your own books, or do you have?
Yeah. I decided with my first book, I had to make that choice. Do I want to self-publish it or go try and get a publishing house to do it? And I just decided I wanted control of my own work and my own vision. And if it was going to create like a world, which when I started writing my first book, I already had like 15 planned. So I was like, I think I want to be in control of where this goes and all that. So I just, took that risk that I was going to lose out on the marketing and all that stuff. But I'm glad I did it. And it eventually got me to, basically set up my own publishing company. I've helped other authors self-publish theirs and so forth. So I prefer it that way.
Nice.
I don't think I'd ever want to give up control of that.
I've done it both ways. I wrote 2 science fiction superhero books, Adventures of the Rope Warrior, and I published those myself. And then I started shopping around. I thought, especially the Max song, I thought would make a nice children's book. And I started shopping those around. I got a literary agent. She didn't find me anything. But then I contacted, I don't know if you know Meadowbrook Press.
Yeah, I think I've heard of them.
And Bruce Lansky is like the king of giggle poetry. And so I talked to him about the stuff. And then he said, well, why don't we do a jump rope book? I mean, that's really what you're best at. So we wound up doing a jump rope book there. And now I've been writing a curriculum-based jump rope rhyme book with a couple other people. And I think we're still debating now whether to self-publish that or sort of self-publish it or try to bring it to a publisher. I don't know what, I still haven't decided what to do.
Yeah, no, and either way, I think whatever gets your book out there and so forth, I think self-published books versus publisher-based books, you're going to find equal both quality and non-quality. I don't think one is better than the other. It's all a matter of opportunity and just making sure that you get your stuff out there.
Right. So for me, because I get myself on TV a lot with the jumping rope, this is a nice product to have, and maybe I can get it some attention. But without the publishers, it's harder to get it to the bookstores.
Exactly. Yep.
So.
All right, Rock and Rope Warrior. Let everybody know where they can find you, and then what kind of projects you got coming up.
Always the best place to find me is my website, which is just ropewarrior.com. And latest project is a curriculum-based jump rope rhyme book. And we've got about 60 or 70 poems, and that should be out in about 4 or 5 months, I would think. And that's going to be a lot of fun. There's some funny ones in there. People learn a lot, and hopefully that combination of movement and learning together. One of my writing partners has done a lot of research on that, and that's really beneficial when people learn and move at the same time. It has to do with the 2 parts of the brain that do all that are close together, and there's a lot of benefit with that.
Well, I love what you do. I think you're really unique in this community. And I also wanted to give you a shout out for contributing to my music video, Kindie Rock Stars. Go out there and check it out. The Rock and Rope Warrior has a segment in there. And I really thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you, Patrick. I'm a big fan of yours as well.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
All right, take care.